Alrighty.
So today we're going to learn about imperatives. And imperatives are simply a direct command in Latin. So in English, examples would be, students, open your books. So the command would be what? Well, the command itself.
Students, open your books.
No, open. Open is the command. Your book, so books would be the what of the sentence? The
Direct object.
The direct object.
The DO.
What's the understood subject? Does anyone know?
You.
You. Very good. You. Okay, and then Chris, sit down. What's the command?
Sit.
Sit. Okay, down being a, what is it, preposition? Hey, so the formation of this, we go off of the infinitives. So what's the infinitive? The REs. So the second principal part. Okay, so all we do, and this is what you guys will love, all you do, if you're going to do a singular, so if you're telling one person, so Latin actually distinguishes between singular and plural. So if you're telling one person to do something, it's one way, but if you're telling more than one person, you're doing it another way. So to tell one person, so if I'm addressing just Lonnie, then it would be in the singular. And all we do is we knock off the RE. So for no matter the conjugation, it goes from the RE. So amare becomes ama, which means love. So love thy neighbor. So if I'm telling it to one person, it's ama. Okay, so docere, doke, ducere, duque, adire becomes adi. So if I'm saying listen, then it'd be adi, and you get the exclamation point. Hey, for the plural, it's simple. You take the singular and you tack on a te. Okay? So the exception though is third conjugation. Its e here becomes an I here. So if you're telling everybody, so if you're like a pastor at church and you're saying, love thy neighbor, and you're telling the whole congregation, then it's going to be amate. So ama to one person, you're addressing one person. Amate if you're addressing more than one person. Okay? Are we clear on that? Yes?
Wait, so if you're addressing like plural, if you're doing plural, then you knock off the RE and then add the
T.
Okay.
The only time you'll have a weird change is third conjugation. So it's almost like third declension where it's weird. Third conjugation, the E changes to an I. And it's because E is a weak vowel. Latin has vowel strengths. E is one of the weakest, followed by I. It's really, really strange. That's why the only reason this one stays is because originally it's a what? A long E. It's a long E, so it's straight. Alright, now we have the negative imperative. So we're going to tell you not to do something. Okay, so when the kids, like elementary school, they tell you, don't run in the hallways. Right? So,
Don't run with scissors.
yeah, don't run with scissors. So all of those are negative imperatives because you're basically commanding somebody not to do something. Okay? So don't love that boy. You know, but I love him. Okay? He's good to me. So we use the nolo. So it literally means do not want, right? It's really a weird command. Don't. And then what they don't want you to do will be in the infinitive. Okay? So it's a combination. So if you see a noli or a nolite, you should immediately look for an infinitive of what you don't want them to do. The command itself is the noli or the nolite. So notice you still have you have the I, and then you have a T. So it will still fall under your same rules. So singular versus plural. But it's the what you don't want them to do, that's going to be in the infinitive. So notice, don't speak, because that one sounds less weird than don't love. Don't speak to one person would be noli dicere. But if it's to multiple people, it would be nolite dicere. Okay? So notice, dicere does not change, because it's the action you don't want them to do. So it'll stay in the infinitive. It's the don't that's the command part. Okay? So you could actually just almost make like a don't. Like, I can't even. Right? So don't. Just don't. Because I've actually said that to a kid before.
Oh yeah, you said that multiple times. To multiple people in this class.
Just don't. Okay. So, This is the secondary thing we're going to be learning, and it's the vocative case. The reason we're learning the vocative case is it is only really used when we're using the imperative. So they kind of go hand in hand. The nice thing about the vocative case is it looks exactly like the nominative case. And if you think about it logically, we already said in direct commands the understood subject is who? You, right? But if we're addressing somebody like Chris or students, that really is the subject. That's who you're addressing, but that's who's with the understood you, okay? So get out your books could be a command in Latin. Just get out your books. And the understood is everybody. But if I say students, get out your books, students is really who I'm addressing, correct? So that's why it's the vocative case. But in an essence, it's like the nominative. So more often than not, it'll look the exact same. There's only one exception, because there's always an exception, and that's the second declension. And this is where it gets a little weird. If it ends in a US, it changes to an E. But if it ends in IUS, it adds another I. So you could have Kaikili with an II, or more often than not, the double I becomes just a one long I, a long I. Okay? That's the only time it'll be different, is if it's second declension singular. What about second declension plurals? Will they look like the nominative, or will they be different? They'll look just like the nominative. Okay? So the vocative for everything other than nominative singular second declension. Okay? So second declension plural, first declension singular and plural, and third declension singular and plural. Everything else looks exactly like the nominative. Okay? So more often than not, you don't even realize it, you just have that comma. Okay, so what I want us to do now is I'm going to upload a worksheet on Edmodo. I want you to open up a Notability, which everyone can now have for free. And it's a coloring thing, so you're going to kind of have fun with this. It's going to be like elementary school again, yay! It's the stained glass. You're going to imagine, I'm going to put the key up on the board, and then you guys are going to color in using the imperatives. Okay, so just wait 1 second and I'll have it for you. Okay, pause.